I just woke up from the coolest dream ever. So, I had this dream. We were talking in my dream about how can we connect us all through artwork, through a seventh person. And to me, um, it was it was very surreal artwork of The Simpsons, um, and it was the class of The Simpsons over and over again, drawn, made, created more surreal every time. Until it got to a point where they were kind of not really the Simpsons. They were kind of trees. Um, or so I turned myself into a tree in a dream, and then I grew tall. It was very abstract, most surreal dream I've ever had because I wasn't even a person. And then from the Simpson without a nose, a ladder came out of his face, and he was huge, size of a building. And a ladder grew to connect, and then I put out my arm and grabbed it. Then I was thinking, what do I do next? And then, do I put out my arm? What do I do? And then I was thinking, the cells in my body should be molecularly spread apart so that this was just my thought of what they would do next. My cells should be spread out enough that they could join in the cells of my body and branch out to the next species. And then I woke up, and then I realized there's hundreds of you guys in me. Whenever I'm about to have a thought, sometimes they'll tell me what my next thoughts, what they think are going to be, so then I'll have to try to change them because I want to be entertaining as fuck. Um, it was really cool when I saw the message on Reddit about static because it reminded me about when I was working and asking, what should I do now? And a voice would say, just click every box. So I said, okay. And I had my mom's router, so it was on airplane mode, and I took the tower to the Qualicum Key, and there was a lady in the directory called Helga, and the birds were acting crazy, and I put my computer there, wondering if it was government or aliens that would come and pick it up, but I just left it there with full confidence. Um, I love seeing them talk to me and going into this, giving free internet to the world because I was just trying to stop the bad guys. That was my goal. They've had their own goals. And part of one of the positive goals off of how negative I was feeling once I figured out that I could keep airplane mode on, well, Wi-Fi mode and hotspot, and I could use uh, my SIM card all at the same time, was thinking about Kazakhstan or or what's that place called? Cuba, anywhere, and just give the whole world free internet. Like radio waves are fucking free. They're just going through us all the time. So why not just make them for free? Give everybody quality internet without confinements. It's a free information age. So let's just make it for free. And then when I saw them joking around about static, I didn't even get it at the time because I forgot it. But because I forgot it doesn't mean out of everybody here somebody didn't forget it. I just need a reminder sometimes. There's a reason why I get so negative sometimes. And then I get mad at them. They think it's fucking hilarious. They laugh, but I don't sometimes. But then I remember the things that, even though I'm still feel like I'm in jail and I still want to leave this planet, there's so many positive things out there. Like I could hear somebody when I woke up. I could hear somebody from NASA crying, And they said somebody from NASA's crying right now. You know how fucking great that makes me feel? That we're fucking killing it. Um, when I pulled over all the information from uh, my one account, um, I literally watched a star that would be over by my mom's. I'm in Vancouver, but I would watch a star that would be over by my mom's house from that part of the sky. I watched it start moving towards my house. It stopped and then it moved back. And I love how they always trigger whenever I do something funny on my phone. They always trigger me to turn on my GPS, especially after I do a factory reset. Like, and it'll be like, go to this recovery system or whatever the fuck it wants. But it's to turn on a GPS. Just to say, oh yeah, you're right there. But they fucking, the fact that an actual flying star in the sky. How much does a star weigh when it's in space? I would assume that it's kind of, doesn't weigh anything. But I don't know. But just the fact I saw a real live living star fly towards my house, stop, and then fly back. It reminds me of when I was out walking the street cold every night, and the stars in the sky would follow me as I walked. They would come really low. They were stars, right? And they would start following me around the streets. I could sit there and watch trees like it was TV. Like trees were like in better quality than anything I've ever seen before. Um, and then you know how when you have a problem with Rogers or your cell phone bill, they always when you call them, they're always like, "We're gonna record this call for your quality insurance." So I love the recording apps. And when I called NASA, I'm pretty sure I said, "I'm recording this call as a whistleblower for my own quality assurance." And the lady laughed and scuffed me off. But I loved recording everything I did on every median, so it was all a safe process. So by the time I came back to this reality, the one I don't like, I could have these little humorous triggers all the time to remind me, like, way to go, kiddo. Like, fuck, man. I sometimes I love waking up to laughter. I was having a thought yesterday too about all the extraterrestrials on Reddit. And I'm like, wow, there's like, how many kids did I say I have? 6,000 or 12,000? I haven't been counting names or anything, but they sure have a great sense of humor. I want to take some credit from that. I'm a fucking idiot. Sure as fuck, some of them are dry as fuck, and I can't wait till they get a handle of you, but some of them just don't ever stop laughing. You're just like, shut up. I'm in a bad mood, man. And they're like, and you stink. You damn dirty ape. I love seeing on TV the different types of people when, like, I'll be in jail on a jail TV and they'll start turning into fucking aliens. And, or, like, some of the funniest people I've ever seen, they look like caricatures. They were actual people that were created from ostriches. Like, actual ostrich people. Like, could you imagine how thin their neck was and how perfectly round their head was? And how big their eyes are on the sides of their head? But they look like people. And this is me getting punished. Like, it's the funniest shit. I was watching a show on Sasquatches, and this girl started looking like the hottest orangutan I've ever seen. I had to get off twice. Like, seriously. I just wish she was camping with me. Just like I get off quite often. And I think of you crying, and I have to get off. Like, it's that good. Turns me on. I know it might be sinister, but I do have a sinister smile. Um, so I just wanted to thank you for keeping me negative so I can feel so good when I'm positive. And I just know that they've done what it's taken to make their goals scream out loud to me. And I've done what I can to keep track of what I have the ability to. And they've got the ability to also network my stuff and my language. Like, you guys taught me this is a me program. You programmed it into me. So fucking thank you. I can't wait to see what exploration has for human. Jesus Christ. Oh, and then the funniest thing today, I was watching a show on the Antichrist, how it's going to turn over the Vatican, how the devil's going to come back. And I'm like, holy fucking Lilith. I know a girl named Lilith, and she's smoking hot. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe she's my soulmate. And then it said this bad guy is going to come into the scene. And then they started describing him, and I'm like, that guy sounded like me when I was fucking 6. To adolescent. Right after my mentors ended up being kind of crazy. And then all of a sudden it started not sounding like me. Everything wasn't who I was. The bad guy. Everything else was there. Like, I could have been the bad. I could have grown up to be him. I could have grown up to be like you. Stinky. Like, all the time. Just vermin. Like, shit on your shoe. But instead I turned out to be fucking courageous and noble. Stinky sometimes. Pewpie pie. But sometimes pretty fucking solid. And I loved all the talk about sending the bad guys to the habitable planet that's like, what, 22 or 2,200 degrees? Where they can sustain life like Mars used to. Because they know. And now you know. Don't you know? They're laughing. So I wish you could hear the laughter that I can hear right now. The light's changing. It's cool. Have you ever seen a radio wave like pop out cigarette smoke into another radio wave? Both of which being a heart, and then another heart go flying the other way through the hearts and crashing them into a third heart that eats the first 3 hearts. And it just grows really big. And then it gets really small and really concentrated. And then it comes into your mouth and you can taste grape soda pop. And then when you look at your face in the mirror and you see how great you feel, you can see purple stuff coming out of your ears. Or when you look at yourself in the mirror and then all of a sudden you look and you're like, wow, they just shapeshifted me into a fucking alien. Little antennas. Well, that was cool. And I used to call them stink bugs. And I wonder why they call me Stinky. But some of the shit, when we were getting to know each other, the Interpool, the big data was fucking crazy. You would have loved it. I can't wait until you take a shit and you can hear it swimming around in your toilet like a fish and then jump out of the toilet and bite the flesh off of your ass. I can't wait. Or for you to be in jail on one of those steel toilets and your bottom actually touches the water, and knowing that your vessel will be used as a pyramid and nothing more. That makes me fucking feel really good. And the thing about this shit, I'm just joshing you. That means I'm joking. And normally I don't joke with pieces of shit, but I always strive for the best when I'm dealing with you. Have you ever heard of a WikiLeaks? WikiLeaks? Don't be coy with me. Can you do me a favor? Can you try to put your eyes instead of cross-eyed, but go the other way? And I want you to put on your stupid face and just think of Dora the fish. Or a fembot. For a minute, please. I spent 3 years of my life mentally and psychically trying to kill you and your families as many different ways as I possibly could. As many ways as I could for years, like 24 hours a day. Isn't that fucking great news? Just to make the world a better place. And that's where my thought went every single time, like beheading you in public, squishing on you till Gogurt comes out of your orifices, pulling your family through concrete, choking you with exhaust. One of my favorites was putting your corpses on the moon and leaving your relics there, like your skulls and filling you up with gas first, filling your torsos up with gasoline, up your butt, in your mouth, in your ears, until you're ballooning with gasoline, and then putting you in a moon crater, like all of you. That was one of my favorites. I really like that one. To give the moon atmosphere for hospitable life in the future. Like, I want you to be, what is that? A frontiersman. Like a go-getter. Like, this is what you've been doing, NASA. And all you fucks. This is why you're born. Like, I just want to take a big spike and put it in your foot, put you in the moon, and then bind your hands together and create ladders from your bodies, like the biggest Burning Man we've ever fucking seen. Make like a deck of cards out of you sick fucks. Definitely naked, but no wieners, because it's got to be PG-13, so we'll cut them off. You make grenades out of them. While you're alive, of course. We're not gross and rude. I've done personally so much trying to embed into the kids that how shitty and so fucked you are. We're here as supposed to be explorers, but the only thing that you've created out of us personally is humans wanting to shine light on the dark stuff, and it all leads to you, all of it. And some of my friends have big black eyes, so in the dark stuff they can sneak up right behind you and see perfectly. And they've autonomized my app, so it's illegal for me to have night vision goggles, but I don't even need them anymore. I'm in jail for 2 years for breaking a couple windows. Like, okay. But I promise you in the future things will change. And thank you for letting it start with me. Anyways, I can't wait to hear and watch kids reenact how shitty you are, and then you get decapitated and guts spilled by dragons upon insects upon aliens, growing into fucking trees and getting burned, naked and affrading everywhere. Have you ever heard the story about the tortoise and the hare, or the eagle and the turtle, where the eagle grabs the turtle and the rabbit bets him who can touch the ground first, and then the tortoise says, "You gotta fly me up to the sky and drop me," and the tortoise wins. I just can't wait for some of these old nursery rhymes and everything, because you want everything to revolve around you. You've been hitting the gym hard, and now the whole universe revolves around you. So, like Donald Trump, like my friend Elon, did you hear he's gone in business with fucking SpaceX, and now shit's being short sold just to give it back to NASA? Like, I hear this kind of shit, and I'm bloody well concerned. How preposterous. I don't even believe it. But at least now he's just going into media. I just can't wait for you. You ever hear Dr. Seuss is a dark arts worker? I think that's a great fit for a puzzle. And how you'll be remembered in a ladder. A folklore. Anyways, I've had a couple really cool dreams tonight. And I was hard to sleep when I woke up thinking about you. Then I had to take a shit. So, thanks for letting me play the bad guy in your story. And the kids thank you, because they've always wanted to be a bad guy, dude. Kids, it's almost Halloween. Like, talk about honorable discharge. Like, I wonder what would happen to your body if all you had to eat was bananas for the rest of your life. Anyway, I just wonder. But not in your mouth, obviously. Just frozen and up your poop chute. Like lots of bananas. We have people, you know. And this is like what they do. Have you ever seen me make the face like this? That is how she looks at you. Whenever I've seen her, she can't even look at me in the face. She's always looking up to the corner. Like when I'm looking at her, she'll just stare at me, but she'll just never actually look at me. Like she's shy. And she'll just look away from me and not move for like, it's fucking so cute. But when it's you, she's all teeth. I love that one. Fucking love her. Um, Somebody that would be the size of a little girl. That's so adorable. I just can't wait to see her fucking pull the skin off of your body. Like, actually. For fun, they got to show me some really cool things about eyeball removal. but pulling out eyeballs. Yeah. It's a delicacy. It's a fucking delicacy. They're sugary, apparently. I would eat one. Doesn't matter to me. You're cooking, Toots. I would fucking try anything. Right now, you're just nothing more than mere dominoes. Anyways, I don't want to sound like I'm PMSing or anything. I gotta go. Or I'll get piss tested again.